Previously, I introduced Bloom's taxonomy as a framework to identify cognitive levels. Also, I discussed the 4 phases of the Practical Inquiry Model, or PIM, as a framework for identifying critical thinking within student discussions. In this session, we'll examine the types of questions instructors use as prompts. Then, we'll analyze how the responses to those prompts align with the phases of the PIM. Researchers have named these 9 categories of question types that instructors use as prompts. At any time, feel free to pause the video to read more about the question types. Let's look at a few examples, starting with lower-level divergent questions. Lower-level divergent questions aim for students to discover reasons, draw conclusions, or make generalizations. Here's an example of a lower-level divergent question taken from an English language development course. In this case, the instructor is asking the student to draw conclusions about the relationships between the latest reading assignment and previously covered content. Next, we'll look at critical incident prompts, which provide students with an issue in a scenario or case study and ask them to propose a solution. In this example from a management course, students are presented with an incident between employees. Then, they're tasked with responding to it and describing the advantages and disadvantages of their plan. Now, let's look at the findings of a study conducted by Richardson, Sadoff, and Ertmer in 2012. Based on the question type, they connected students' responses to the phases of the PIM. Let's look at lower-level divergent questions. You'll see that LD questions often result in answers in the exploration phase and integration phase. So we know that lower-level divergent questions are a good option if your goal is for your students to analyze a concept, which is in the middle of the cognitive levels. Now, we'll look at critical incident questions. You'll see that they are the only question type to get a high rate of answers in the resolution phase. In other words, critical incident questions reliably produce responses at the highest level of cognition. Remember, different tasks will call for different levels of cognition. However, research indicates that discussion board prompts rarely produce responses with high cognitive levels, even when that's the intention of their instructors. So, given what we've just looked at, we know that by providing critical incident questions, we have a good chance of reaching that higher level with the resolution phase of the PIM. In the third and final installment of the series, we'll show you how to construct critical incident prompts. In addition, we'll examine how to sequence your prompts so that students are ready to effectively engage with all phases of the PIM.